This is going to be a spoiler review for the movie Twinless. It is a psychological black comedy drama movie about twinless twins. I couldn't get into the plot details of my normal review, but I wanted to discuss it in case someone maybe doesn't want to watch the movie or doesn't have Paramount Plus or whatever. So this movie, if you're unfamiliar, is about twinless twins. Our main character is Roman. He has lost his twin brother, and he's very sad. He's grieving. He goes to a support therapy group for twinless twins and meets Dennis, a very effeminate gay man who also lost his twin, Dean. And the two of them hit it off, and they become best buds and sort of like a brotherly bond to fill the void. However, dark secrets threaten to ruin their new friendship. And the reason why I say that is because that's literally the plot synopsis, and that sort of telegraphs the big twist that happens in the movie. The big twist happens about 20 to 30 minutes into the movie anyway, so it's not like something that's reserved for the end. But the big twist is that Dennis is a sneaky, weird little man. He actually slept with Roman's twin brother, Rocky. They had a couple one-night stands together, and then Rocky didn't respond, so Dennis decided to try to surprise him at his apartment, which is weird, and sees him with another lover, confronts him on the street, and then a car hits Rocky, and that's why he died. So Dennis is the reason why Rocky is dead, and then Dennis became a stalker and found out that Rocky had a twin brother named Roman, and then followed him to the twinless twins thing to come up with a fake twin of Dean in order to get close to him. Now, it is stated that Roman is the one who sort of talks to Dennis first. It's not like Dennis tried to integrate himself into Roman's life, but it's very icky the way they met. Obviously, he's there. He's doing something gross. He's pretending to have the same trauma that everyone else does so that he can be privy to their secrets, but also to get close to Roman. And then, of course, he hides this fact and they hang out. And it happens naturally, but then there's also the problematic way of Dennis is also sexually attracted to Roman as well. And they share hotel rooms together a lot because they go out on trips or whatever. And most of this is sort of uncovered by Marcy, Dennis's co-worker, who meets Roman and hits it off with him, and then she remembers everything. She's a social butterfly, and she remembers a lot of elements that don't make sense, so she confronts Dennis, and then Dennis eventually sucks on Roman's toe in the finale, and then admits to everything, gets punched out. And the reason that I didn't like this movie and didn't rate it higher than a 7 out of 10 was because the movie does opt for a sort of bittersweet, potentially happy ending. After their breakup of friendship, they meet at a diner, and we as the audience know that Roman's having a rough time. He doesn't have a lot of friends, and his Marcy is a social butterfly, so she's obviously never lonely. So he meets up with Dennis, and they have a chat and sort of patch things up. I mean, Roman's still kind of guarded a little bit, but then they sort of insinuate that the friendship will continue, and it's sort of a maybe happy ending, which I felt icky, mainly because if this happened in real life, obviously it'd be like a stalker psychological movie. It's definitely not okay, but in the context of like a whimsical sort of weird movie, it works. But also it can be compared to those early 2010s films that have the same sort of ending, like 500 Days of Summer, where the main character meets another love interest immediately after, or Ruby Sparks, the same thing happens where the protagonist is kind of a scumbag, not entirely, but then they get a happy ending, potentially anyway. And I just felt a little bit too happy, too whimsical for what the main character in this film did. And it's also written and directed by James Sweeney, who plays Dennis as well. So the other elements are great, though. There's a great sort of comedy and riffing, character development, all that's good. Like, Roman's kind of dumb, so sometimes he gets idioms wrong, or he's a little bit self-conscious and very macho manly. There's a good contrast to Dennis's sort of weak, kind of needy gay man. And then Marcy's great too, because she's just sort of bubbly and nice to everyone, even though Dennis starts taking snipes at her because she's like the third wheel and she could out him. So overall, I like the acting and the script, but just the ending, the third act was a little bit, felt like it rang false. Other than that, though, that's why I wanted to get into the plot. Otherwise, the movie's really strong. Dylan O'Brien gives a really good performance. He only plays Rocky for a little bit, but manages to get into some really emotional depths, which is new. I haven't really seen that from him and stuff. You know, most people know him from Teen Wolf or action movies, young adult movies. So that's my spoiler review of Twinless.